Okay, welcome everybody to the second MTGO League post-Lurrus ban. So playing an old favourite, which is Grixis Shadow, now with the unbanning of some CMC greater than 3 cards. So it's pretty similar to how it was with Lurrus, but it's kind of a mix between the new, the new builds. And the old. So when I say new, I mean the Lurrus builds of recent times and the old builds, which are they used to run Gurmag Anglers and things like that. So yeah, gone for some of this. Thought it might be quite fun. So obviously cut a lot of the things, but we gain Murktide Regent, which is one of the best creatures in the format. 2 mana usually for an 8/8 flyer is pretty good. Street Wraith, it helps our shadows, helps us find things, helps Delirium, helps helps with Delve for Murktide Regent. So that actually seems like a really good addition. And I've seen a few people brewing with this. I'm going to try 4 Stubborn Denial. I think Modern is very tight on mana at the moment. Stubborn Denying someone's Expressive Iteration on turn 2 is pretty good. Drown Lock should possibly take that place, but when you're going to be Murktide Regenting on turn, you're probably not doing this before turn 3. You're not going to necessarily have the mana to hold up something like Drown Lock. So Stubborn Denial takes that place. And yeah, onto the sideboard. We've just got some standard kind of things. 2 Liliana Veil, just because I like the card really, and I think the meta is going to be pretty grindy at the moment with people trying out new stuff. Got 2 Tourachs to help the blue-white sort of control matches. Some Terminates for opposing Murktides, any sort of artifact shenanigans. Dress downs also deal with as a saga, bit of graveyard hate. So yeah, let's give this a go. Hope everyone's doing well today. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if it's something you're enjoying. We've got a big tournament in April, actually now for people in the UK. Really good. Check it out if you want to play some sort of high level Magic. I think I went to the last Mega Modern they ran. I think it was 200. They maxed out on players. It was 200 and something players there. I think it was 256 maybe. So yeah, that's really good. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you've got any post-Lurrus ban lists. I'm excited to try a lot of different stuff. I'm not sure it's gonna. I don't know. It's either gonna massively change the format or have no impact at all. I think it'll change for a little bit with people trying new things, but then I think Hammer will still be really good. Shadow of some sort will still be good, and then we might see a resurgence of Tron and things, and then we're also probably going to see quite a lot of the 4-color Blink deck in the short term. So yeah, let's see how we get on with this Grixis Shadow list. See you for round 1. Right, round number 1. We can keep this. This is a pretty good hand. It's got Threat. It's got Thoughtseize. We are against Yorion, so there's a range of decks playing Yorion. Obviously the most popular is the 4-color piles, but there are a range. Misty Rainforest definitely makes me think that it's going to be that. So we find another Thoughtseize. So I think now we're going to go Blood Crypt, Thoughtseize, and then next turn we can go Steamvents, Channeler, Thoughtseize. Okay, so Solitude is good against us, as is Prismatic Ending. Solitude likely to be a 2-for-1. So I guess we're probably just going to take this Snapcaster Mage. Ending is annoying, but it is sorcery speed. I think we'll just take the Snapcaster Mage. Okay, so not sure what this is, because, well, it's looking like 4-color, but 4-color doesn't usually run Snapcaster Mage. Okay, so Glacial Floodplain implying that this is going to be some sort of snow deck, so Bant Snow, something we haven't heard for a while. Okay, Windswept Heath for our opponent. So we'll play out the Watery Grave, and then we'll go Channeler. Watery Grave's a good pickup because it lets us cast Murktide. Thoughtseize. Yeah, we can graveyard that. Helps for delve. Maybe we should have been Thoughtseizing these Solitudes. Okay, still 2 Solitudes. I think we're just going to take the ending though. And just try and do as much as we can with this Dragon's Rage Channeler. Don't think our opponent will want to use the Solitude here. You know, it's a big 2-for-1. Hallowed Fountain tapped and pass the turn potentially. Okay, well there's a Ragavan. We could dash here. Opponent possibly got Counterspell, so I think we're just gonna. I don't think we're gonna dash. We're just gonna Iteration. Stub's an interesting one. I think we're going to put that on top against this deck. I guess the trouble with Stub is it doesn't actually the trouble with Stub and Denial is it doesn't actually deal with Solitude. So Street Wraith is a weird one to hit off. I suppose we could Street Wraith, which wouldn't quite give us Delirium, but we'll put Stub in hand, bottom the Street Wraith, exile the Scalding Tarn, play the Scalding Tarn. We're going to play Ragavan now because if my opponent has, if they want to counter Ragavan, then they have to put it into the graveyard, which means we get a bit more damage in. Okay, Supreme Verdict's pretty good there. So we could play the Murktide, but it just gets killed next turn by a hardcast Solitude. So I think we're just going to go for this instead. We can graveyard that. Okay, another Murktide Regent is interesting. So we'll go hand, bottom, exile. We'll play the land. Then pass the turn. So opponent can just Solitude here, which they probably will. Okay, there's Solitude. So yeah, this Stubborn Denial not looking great there. But we could do a drawing less land. Can we? We've got 10 cards. You need to delve out 5, so we could just double Murktide here and hold up a Stub. Although we can't. Oh no, we'd have to. We can't hold up Stub as well. I think we'll just go for a fairly small Murktide. So we don't want to exile everything. So yeah, we don't want to exile everything there because we want to make another one next turn. Okay, Abundant Growth is fine. Okay, so no Solitude. Okay, Death Shadow is okay. So we'll bash in here. Ice Fang. Yeah, Stubborn Denial really isn't good against this kind of stuff. So yeah, maybe maybe that should be Drown the Lock. I guess this is just a bad matchup for it potentially. So what do we want to play? Do we want to play our Murktide Regent or do we want to play our Death Shadow? Let's play our Murktide Regent. I think we don't want to play both. Because then Solitude on the Murktide kills the Shadow. I guess we could have fetched Shocked. So yeah, it's okay. This is the reason Drown the Lock is much better. Drown the Lock here would just be Counterspell. Yeah, another Solitude. Okay. So gonna want to fetch. Yeah, I don't actually have another shock land. Okay, Bauble's okay. Oh, Stub isn't turned on, I guess, is the trouble. Am I going to play a Shadow? If my opponent can't actually quite cast Yuri on next turn. So I think we'll go for it. That can't even fetch anything. It can turn the Shadow on, it can turn Ferocious on, but that's about it. Ugh, another Solitude. Yeah, it really doesn't help when our opponent finds all the Solitudes. And we find absolutely nothing. Okay, so flooded out a bit there. Ended up with, what, 6 lands in play. We couldn't actually fetch any more. We saw a lot of cards, saw 25 cards. Okay, we do have some sideboard here. So Liliana the Veil seems good. Tourach seems good. I think Dress Down is probably pretty good. Stub is pretty bad, as we saw there. Thoughtseized and Inquisition are both fine. Heat, they are running quite a few creatures. What don't we like? A lot of their removal is Exile, so Kolaghan's Command isn't going to help as much. We possibly want Counterspell. Want Ragavan. We could trim. Could trim on Street Wraiths. Maybe we trim a couple of Street Wraiths. Do we need this many Unholy Heats? I guess if they play Omnath, I think we'll maybe we'll shave 1 Heat, shave 1 Street Wraith. Do we want that many Inquisitions? Would be rather a Counterspell. I think I'd rather a Counterspell than an Unholy. Well, maybe we're meant to cut Unholy Heats for Terminates anyway. No, I don't think so. Could be Fatal Push. No, let's go with this. See, I mean, we could consider Nihil Spellbomb, given that we did see a Snapcaster Mage. But yeah, maybe it should be Counterspell for the Solitudes, because Solitude is brutal. We got the Dress Downs though, which are similar against Solitude, so we'll give this a go. Right, yeah, this is a fine hand. So we'll go. Do we want to fetch first? we're going to fetch next turn anyway, I guess. We could fetch Steam Vents. Are we likely to need double black next turn? We're going to need triple black at some point, so fetching Steam Vents is a bit dodgy. Let's lead on Blood Crypt, see what we draw. Well, no, it should have been the fetch land here. Murktide Regent. Tempted to put that into the graveyard. Yeah, I think we'll graveyard that for now. We're quite a way off casting it. See what my opponent's drawing. They are drawing Teferi Time Reveler. We draw Street Wraith, which is actually pretty good. Yeah, no, it wouldn't get us Delirium anyway. Relic of Progenitus. Okay, that's reasonable. Okay, Ragavan is good, so we're going to dash that now. We'll cycle first. Okay, Death Shadow's interesting. So we're going to get Watery Grave, I think. Then we'll just dash. Hit my opponent for 3. Make a treasure. Well, we can't cast the Archmage's Charm, but so this turn we've got a choice. We can go Death Shadow. We don't really want to overextend into a Supreme Verdict. We know my opponent's got Teferi Time Reveler, so we are going to want to end with a couple of creatures on the field. Prismatic Ending. Sure. Get rid of a land. I think we're going to dash Ragavan again here. And then we can possibly even resolve Liliana of the Veil as well. Although actually I think I'd rather play that Ice Fang Coatl. So go grab Watery Grave, helps with Tourach and Murktide Regent. I guess my opponent can go to Fairy, bounce Ice Fang to hand, draw a card, and then we'll play out the Shadow. I think I want to end this turn with some some board presence, so that if my opponent just goes to Fairy, bounce this, we can then kill Teferi. Although I guess we can do that with Unholy Heat anyway. Okay, so here comes Teferi. I mean, we can draw Dress Down here. And we do just win the game. Opponent might bounce the Shadow, of course. Ooh, gain control of that. That's pretty good. Although we can go Liliana now. So we'll cycle this. Go to 8. So yeah, we'll go Liliana. Tourach's a good draw as well. Edict my opponent. Hit them for 1, pass the turn. So this is going to be Teferi, probably bounce Ice Fang. If we find a land, we're definitely Touraching. Thoughtseize. So I think we'll tick up Liliana, start getting cards out of my opponent's hand. We can get rid of another Liliana, good for Delirium. We can't go, if we go Thoughtseize, there'll be 4 cards in the graveyard, so we can't quite do that. We could go Ragavan attack. Yeah, I think we want a Ragavan attack. So Ragavan cast with dash. Don't think we care about killing Teferi with this. We can Unholy Heat that. Attack my opponent. I guess they could Solitude us here, but I think that's okay. Abundant Growth. So I think we're just going to go Thoughtseize, Unholy Heat. I don't think we mind. Okay, so I've got another Teferi. We're going to take the Hero of Dominaria because that's what kills us. Is that right? Opponents can have Hardcast Solitude on next turn, but they're going to have that if we let them. Yeah, we can't let them have Hero of Dominaria. And then, do we even care about Unholy Heating this Teferi? We're not doing anything. I think we're just going to Abundant Growth, actually. Well, Abundant Growth this Watery Grave. Draw an extra card. So we can play a land. I think we can just, well, trouble is I don't really want to go to 3. If we fetch Shock, kill Teferi. No, I don't think we want to go to 3. Yeah, we'll go and grab a land. We'll just go and grab Steam Vents end of turn. Hopefully our opponent hasn't found. They find another Time Reveler. Okay, yeah, I suppose that's pretty good. So my opponent can Ice Fang here. I think we're going to go Tourach. That's a pretty good draw. Can't go Tourach and Murktide. I can go Tourach and it's got to be Tourach. Am I discarding anything? I guess Tourach and then discard is lethal next turn. So I think we'll just go that. Although 2 at random. So if my opponent's going to discard 2 at random, we want the maximum chance to hit something good, I guess. So we should tick up first. But I think I just want to put. Let's go land. And then we're going to tick up. Do we lose the Murktide Regent? We might hit the Ice Fang anyway. Difficult this one. I think it's just play Tourach, tick up Liliana, go. I don't think the extra information is going to be that great. We're going to cast the Ragavan. Well, the Ragavan's not that great if my opponent's going to Ice Fang. Let's see what they discard, I guess. They might Ice Fang in response, in which case we could Edict it. Yep, there's the Ice Fang. Tourach's got protection from white, so they can't Solitude it. Okay, so we get a Snapcaster Mage and so they've used their Teferi. So I can either, I kind of want all the cards in my hand, I guess. I either tick up, get rid of something. I could then kill that, or I tick down, kill the Ice Fang. I kind of want to tick up. I could get rid of Ragavan. Yeah, I think we're just going to tick up, discard the Ragavan. And then I think we just pass the turn. It's tempting to use this Unholy Heat. So we know my opponent's got Solitude, one unknown. I guess we just Heat now. It uses our mana efficiently. That way Liliana can clear out a blocker next turn. Opponent can rip Supreme Verdict. It's out of bolt range. Okay, so I guess we just attack first. Opponent could have Snapcaster Mage. Should be rough. Another Ice Fang's real good as well. Yeah. Okay. Oh, they got Solitude as well. Do I just cast Street Wraith? I think I'm ticking up Liliana and then just casting Murktide. Get rid of the Street Wraith. Yeah, Ice Fang was obviously an amazing draw for our opponent. So we want to keep Delirium really, but we do want to make it, that's as big as we can make it anyway, so might as well overpay. Unless we want to play around, I actually think we want to play around what's it called, Mystical Dispute here, so we can still keep Delirium. I think not quite, because we got rid of all of our instants and sorceries. Obviously our opponent could just Solitude this Murktide Regent. Yeah, I don't feel like they had too many draws out of the Tourach attack. Well, there's another Tourach, so I guess we go with that. Because then we get to know if our opponent has a... They're probably just going to hard cast Solitude. Counter target spell, okay. Tick up. I'm assuming they're just going to evoke Solitude here. Yeah. Okay, so we do get the last two cards out of my opponent's hand. Go up to 9. Just need our opponents to not really hit too much. The trouble is they can draw so many cards and they still have a companion. Although I guess, yeah, Liliana's good in that regard. So we'll go... Bauble's actually quite a good draw, because it lets us tick up and then draw the card. Get a Supreme Verdict out of my opponent's hand. Let's see what they're going to draw. They're drawing Relic, which is okay. I'll be sad if I draw Murktide Regent. We get to draw from this. Dragon's Rage Channeler, not the worst draw. We know our opponent can't. I mean, they haven't got a land, I don't think. I'm surprised they didn't return Abundant Growth to their hand. Oh, I guess they're just going to flicker. It's just so rough, this. Yeah, I mean, opponents just kind of had a lot of stuff there. We know they've got Yuri on hand. Finding a Thoughtseize or something would be nice. Ooh, Murktide. Okay, so we need to play that right now before our opponent I mean, it's only going to be a it's only going to be a 3/3, but which is bad because our opponent's going to have a 4/5 flyer, but there we go. Opponent gets to draw a card here. Yeah, the extra card from Companion being pretty good. Okay, there's the fairy. So what can we find here? Well, Dress Down's not actually too bad, I guess. I think we, well, actually it's just a cycle, isn't it? So graveyard that. We find a shadow. Do we play this? I think we play the shadow. You know, we're fairly cold to Supreme Verdict, but I don't think we can afford to play around that. And we need to get our opponent's Yuri on off the field anyway. Okay, so they bounce the shadow. Opponent did have to fetch, so we do have lethal power on the field. We could attack the Teferi. Iteration is a fantastic draw. Best draw in the deck, I think. Ooh, yeah, we'll have that one as well. So we'll go hand, bottom, exile, play the land, dash this. Do we attack with everything here? So if we go attack, my opponent blocks here. Oh, why have I dashed this? My opponent goes block. Well, we get a. I think we do attack. And it's not. Opponent probably go. Well, opponent has to block the Murktide. Maybe this is a bad attack if my opponent has something. Opponent just has no blocks. Okay. So opponent could have done it, I guess. Not sure why they didn't block there, but okay. We couldn't quite get Delirium. So we saw Teferi, but that was the only. Oh, we saw Archmage's Charm as well, actually. So maybe that's an argument for stub. Street Wraith wasn't actually that great. Maybe we cut the Street Wraiths. Kolaghan's Command, Terminate. What did we see? Maybe we go Counterspell, 2 stubs. Want all the Thoughtseizes and stuff. Dress Down. I think Dress Down's probably fine. Yeah, let's just go with that. Yeah, Liliana and Tourach were really good there. Don't know, maybe there's some build with their main deck. Do love Liliana the Veil. I love Tourach as well, actually. I thought there was a possibility they print him to Tourach in MH2, but no, we get Tourach instead. It's probably a bit fairer. Okay, this hand's fine. Thoughtseize would have been nice. Gonna have to speed up when they got 7 minutes on the clock. So we're going to go turn 1 Dragon's Rage Channeler and then see what drawing Bauble would be nice. Has the opponent got a relic is the question. We're not massively dependent on the graveyard. Dragon's Rage Channeler obviously gets a lot, you know, it's not a 3/3, but okay, another Dragon's Rage Channeler, we don't mind that. I'm going to go and get Blood Crypt here. Start working our way towards this kicked Tourach. Then this turn, don't know, I'd like to draw Thoughtseize really. Okay, so this is probably Ice Fang. I think we dress down here. Maybe we're not meant to dress down. No, we're not meant to dress down here. I will Unholy Heat though. I think we'll just play another one of these and pass the turn. Then next turn we can play a Shadow. Well, another Dragon's Rage Channeler. So yeah, I think we're going to play a Shadow this turn. We'll attack first. This puts my opponent to 15. And then, yeah, we'll fetch again. And then potentially we've got lethal next turn. Okay, so we don't want to go and get Steam Vents. We'll go and get another Blood Crypt. Reason we don't want to get that obviously is because if we draw Steam Vents naturally, okay, Counterspell, that's okay. I probably next turn go dress down in my opponent's second main, look for another land, and it may well give us Delirium. That's supposing that my opponent doesn't have Supreme Verdict, but it looks like they don't. Oh, I should have done it there. Okay, I think I am going to cycle it. Yeah, this is irritating. Oh, and it stops. It stops the Tourach's Enter the Battlefield trigger as well, which is rough. We'll top that one. Oh, that would have been Delirium as well with Thoughtseize. Could have been hitting him for 6. That was silly. Okay, well we can Bauble. Oh, we don't even get the triggers. Okay, well we'll bash in. My opponent flashes an Ice Fang. We don't really care. We will go Thoughtseize though. Guess I probably should have Baubled. Yeah, I've got myself in a bit of a mess here. The Wandering Emperor. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, just lands in hand for our opponent. So I think we'll just go kill this. We should probably look at what my opponent's drawing. They are drawing Solitude, but yeah, I think killing the Planeswalker is probably for the best. Okay, Iteration's nice. Opponent's drawn Solitude. Are they just going to go for it here, potentially? Looks like it. So wouldn't mind drawing a land. I mean, it doesn't do too much here. Well, Shadow's good as well. So I'll play this. Iteration. Yeah, Yeah, we'll top that. We do want to find a land off this. So we'll just go. Let's go hand. Oh no, I think we'll take 2 lands actually. Hand, bottom, exile, play a land. Go get another Watery Grave. Play a Death Shadow. Say go. Opponent's got some good draws. They've got things like Omnath. Well, we haven't actually seen Omnath. Yeah, so we're blocking this all day. If our opponent has drawn Supreme Verdict, then fine. Yeah, they have drawn Supreme Verdict. So not much point in kicking Tourach here. We draw a land as well. Opponent's at 16 as well. Okay, so we're ahead, I'd say, but only just. We've got an unkillable, well, not unkillable, but opponent struggles to kill that. Opponent always gets Yorion. We should have waited on Tourach. Iteration, as usual, the best draw in the deck. Hopefully the opponent hasn't got Counterspell. Okay, we'll take those. So we'll go hand, bottom, exile. We'll cast this with dash. Attack with both. Question is, do we play the Murktide as well? I feel like we probably do. You know, if my opponent verdicts again, we've still got the dashed Ragavan. Okay, Counterspell, that's fine. So our opponent can Yorion here. I guess Yorion's quite scary. It can't block Tourach, but a 4/5 flyer enter the battlefield, draw a card is pretty good. Yeah, so we need something good here. Swamp. Okay, so we'll attack with Tourach, but yeah, we might just lose to this Yorion now. We will cast this and then pass the turn. But yeah, I think we're too low on life and this Yorion's just going to kill us. Need something really good here. Okay. What a way to go. That's frustrating. Okay, close games, good games. I think, yeah, we kind of flooded out a bit at the end there. You never want to see more than, you know, with Tourach, we probably want to see 4 lands fairly consistently. But yeah, I feel like we had a lot of good draws here. Another Murktide is not actually that great, but like Unholy Heat to kill the Yorion. Unfortunately, yeah, I suppose we still would have been 1 damage short if we'd have had the extra damage from the Dragon's Rage channelers. Oh well, there's definitely something here. We'll see you for the next round. Right, round number 2. Yeah, this is fine. Bit like a Is It Murktide hand here. Got 2 Ragavans, so we'll definitely be playing 1-on-1. It's usually right to play one on turn 1, I think. Opponent's mulliganed. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter what land we play, I don't think. So let's go Blood Crypt, Ragavan, play this Bauble, pass the turn, and then we'll look at my opponent's top deck in their upkeep. Liliana of the Veil. Okay, people are all over Lilianas at the moment. So it looks like Jund. Okay, Murktide's pretty good. Doubt we're getting a hit in with this Ragavan. Fatal Push. So we'll play another one. Play a land and pass the turn. Obviously we don't want to run this Murktide Regent into a Liliana. Could be Tarmogoyf here. Renin 6. That kills our Ragavan. So yeah, we're gonna go grab Steam Vents here. Oh, double Steam Vents a bit awkward, but kill that. Maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, probably shouldn't have played out that Ragavan. Okay. So we got Thoughtseize. I think I definitely want to iteration here. Kinda wouldn't mind hitting a black source. Okay. So I don't think we're playing out the Channeler. I think we'll just go. Do we need another Channeler? Do we need another threat, or would I rather have the Bauble? Well, we can't. If we go Channeler and my opponent goes Lily, that's just so bad for us. So we'll go hand, bottom, exile, cast this. We can just. I think we will shot this in case we draw. I think we will look now. Okay, so opponent's got another Lily, because we could draw another Unholy Heat or a stub. We are running 4 stubs. Okay, Street Wraith is interesting. We are in a bit of trouble against this Liliana is the trouble. Wonder if we're meant to. Yeah, I think we can cycle here. Look for a. Well, do we cycle again? Probably. Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler, sure. I think we get rid of the Channeler. Although going Channeler, Expressive Iteration. Channeler, Expressive Iteration, Thoughtseize. This Murktide's just not going to be great, is it? I think we have to get rid of Murktide because we're going to have to discard the other Liliana. Then my opponent's sacrifices to kill this one. You could see traditional Jund being played. Okay, so we'll go this. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand. Guess we wouldn't mind finding a threat either. Yeah, we could put that on top. Ooh, Unholy Heat. Ooh, yeah, those are some really good ones. Okay, so so we can heat the Liliana, and then we can actually leave our opponent empty hand. No, we can't quite. Oh, unfortunately, we've only got enough mana to do one thing. This is gonna deal 6 damage. So I guess we go hand the heat. Opponent's got another Lily. So we could go bottom this, exile this. How much do we want another discard spell? I think that's fine. I think we'll just go... we could cast this and the Thoughtseize, but then our opponent ticks up, gets rid of... I think we're just going to go bottom, exile, play this. Go get basic swamp. Inquisition. Take our Surveil as well. Dragon's Rage Channeler. I think we can probably keep that on top. Ooh, okay. So take this Seasoned Pyromancer. Opponent could of course tick up, as in tick up, play another Lily, tick up. Okay, so we'll sacrifice this. So we do get to kill Lily. Oh, that's a really good draw. That is a really good draw. So we're going to have to block with that. Heat this. See what we've got on top. Want to find a shadow really. Iteration can stay there. And we'll go. How much do we want to Thoughtseize? We Thoughtseize, we block. If not, my opponent just goes Liliana Edict. I think it's worth doing. We just need to hope our opponent doesn't find anything to remove our Dragon's Rage Channeler. Maybe that was wrong. Okay, so we have to block here. So yeah, we can. Yeah, we can go Iteration. Oh, please don't have drawn Kolaghan's Command. I have to concede to Kolaghan's Command. Ugh. Yeah, that's really rough. With that draw, I don't think it would have mattered what we did. I guess my opponent would have gone Liliana Edict, attack us. We'd have gone to so many what we have drawn with. Okay, so we wouldn't have got there anyway. Okay, so classic that with the kind of the Jund match. Right, so we're definitely taking out the Inquisitions. I think we're definitely taking out the Stubs. We want our own Lilianas. We want Terminates, Spellbombs, probably Kolaghan's Command. We've got a lot of grindy stuff. Do we just cut the Thoughtseizes? Probably. Don't really want Tourach. Well, Dress Down's not too bad, but I think we're happy with the rest of it. Maybe we should be trimming on Street Wraiths. Dress Down is good against Goyf. I think this is fine. Okay, we'll be on the play here. What have we got? No lands, so we do have to mulligan, unfortunately. Do we just keep this and hope with Street Wraiths? It's the... if our opponent... I'm going to keep this. I think we have to risk it. You know, it's got the potential to be explosive with this shadow. We can play the Bauble, look for lands. I just think mulliganing to 5 on the play versus Jund is probably lights out anyway. Okay, we missed with the first one. We do hit with the second one. Okay, so we'll shock this in. Play a Bauble. We're not far off not far off turn 1 shadow. So my opponent's drawing. Yeah, not expecting this Ragavan to live. Okay, I've got Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Okay, Thoughtseize, so probably going to take the Shadow here. Yeah, we do get hit in with this Ragavan though, which is good. We draw another land. And they can't play Wrenn and 6 next turn, so really wanted to hit something there. We'll shut this in, play a Spellbomb, pass the turn. Croxer, okay. Get rid of an Unholy Heat. We don't need to Spellbomb now, but I think I'm going to want to use my mana. And we're getting a Croxer. I need to stop drawing Unholy Heats really. Yeah, we could do with hitting something from my opponent's. Oh, I should have played the land because it would have given us Delirium. Okay, Thoughtseize. I've drawn a lot of Unholy Heats. Opponent's at 9. This could be Wrenn and 6 though. Yeah. Ping the Ragavan. Well, we're definitely Unholy Heating this anyway. Oh, come on. I mean, I started with no lands. I've drawn a lot of lands. Is my opponent running Bloodbraid Elf is the question. How much is this to activate? 4. Are we going to see a Bloodbraid Elf? They do have to shock to 6. They are indeed running Bloodbraid Elf into Fatal Push, so I've been there many a time, my friend. You know, you're just hoping for a good cascade and then you just get Fatal Push. Going to get a tap land here. Doesn't really matter. Let's get Watery Grave, complete the 3. This was always a hard matchup, I seem to remember. Right, once again, iteration, best draw in the deck. Okay, so we'll go hand, bottom, exile. Don't know if I want to fetch shock really, so I'm just going to use the, well, tell you what, let's cycle the Street Wraith first. Going 6 is a bit ropey. Kolaghan's command is pretty good. So we could go Kolaghan's command. I think we're just going to go this first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do this. I'm not going to play a land. Don't think, because if my opponent has Kolaghan's command, then. So things that can kill Murktide Regent, Terminate, Liliana. They can obviously kill us with double bolt. Okay, they draw a card. Oh no, they gain some life. There's a Ragavan. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler is an interesting one. Don't really want to fetch shock. Can't quite kill my opponent. Oh yeah, we can, because we can just go deal them 2 damage with turn target creature from your graveyard to hand. Deal 2 damage. We'll return Ragavan. Deal 2 damage. And smash them for 7 in the air. Okay, well we do get there game 2. Deck's definitely cool. Iteration is just absolutely bonkers card. Yeah, just 2 mana to draw 3 usually. Okay, so opponent is running Ragavan, is running Bloodbraid Elf, but I don't think there's anything we want to change. Just run it straight back. Not convinced about the Street Wraiths. We saw Croxer, so Nihil Spellbomb is a must. Yeah, this is a keep. Nice balanced hand. Notably, that last one was one one with keeping a 0 lander. We did get obviously pretty lucky. Okay, opponents kept in Thoughtseizes. I don't know what they take here. Okay, they take our turn 1 play, which makes sense. We find Blood Crypt, not a great draw. Fatal Push, obviously pretty good. Opponent mulligan. They did. Okay, Ragavan. So, yeah, we just Fatal Push the Ragavan. We've drawn a Blood Crypt, so we're going a Watery Grave here. Use our mana efficiently. Another Bloodstained Mire. Not the best. So if we fetch, we'll have 4 cards in the graveyard. Yeah, I don't want to. Don't really want to do that. Opponent could, of course, have another Ragavan. They could have Liliana here. Okay, it's Liliana. So we're just going to get rid of this Blood Crypt. Yeah, and then we will fetch just... Okay, opponent gets rid of Endurance. I guess they're a long way from casting that. Right, so we're going to need double blue. I think we just go and get Steam Vents here, and we're going to shock. Makes our Death Shadow a bit better. Okay, so here I think we're just going to go this. Going to 2 for 1 our opponent. Go grab Blood Crypt. Kolaghan's command. So we're going to return target creature card. Ragavan. My opponent can discard. See what my opponent discards. Discards a choke. Okay, wasn't necessarily expecting expecting a choke. What are we discarding? I think it's Fatal Push now, although we're not going to have time to deploy all these creatures, but I think it's Fatal Push. Opponent hasn't got any creatures. Opponent discards another Lily. Okay. Oh, actually we can deploy all these, right? So we've got 4 mana. This takes 2 but gains us 1. So that's up to 3. Yeah, we can just do everything. So just dash. Yeah, we're not attacking Lily, I don't think. Well, Grist is quite good. Yeah, I think we just play Grist. We're going to sack our Ragavan, I think, to destroy my opponent's Liliana. Let's go and get a basic swamp, I think. Play this. I think this is fine. Could make a 1/1 actually. Saves us from our opponent's Ragavan. Opponent's going to tick up though. Yeah, I think we can do that. Kill my opponent's Liliana. Especially since my opponent's top decking. And they don't have any... Okay, that's pretty good. I think we get rid of the Shadow. Although 1, 2... Yeah, Shadow. like Shadow's Fatal Pushable. Yeah, Shadow's able to be fatal pushed. Murktide flies over the battlefield, so we'll get rid of K command, fatal push, and then Delta this. Actually, we probably want to overpay a little bit. This, and then go push, K command, push. Just overpaying to keep stuff in the graveyard. So if our opponent finds a land, they can Croxer, which is pretty scary, but we can kill the Croxer with Grist. So we take 3, go to 9, and then we sacrifice the insect token. We can cycle that, I think. See if we can find, well, yeah, that's just so good. Bin that. So we'll go hand, bottom, exile, play this, which we've got Delirium. Yeah, we can probably top that. Then we go tick down, sacrifice this, kill Croxer. So we could dash Ragavan. Oh, I suppose we can see what they're drawing. So they are drawing Ragavan, so we're gonna not want, wait, 6, 9. So actually we're gonna want to stay back and block that. Because if my opponent hits, don't know, something good. I suppose we could have got rid of that with Ragavan, but then, you know, essentially we die to Bloodbraid Elf into Bolt, and we want to minimize that possibility. So yeah, Grist from Ragavan gets us there, gets Jund. See you for the next round. Okay, game round number 3. We're on the draw. This is a bit of a weird one. It's a bit land heavy, but it's got some good stuff in it, so I think we can keep. It's got a turn 2 Shadow, so we're going to go turn 1 Fetch Shock Ragavan, turn 2 Fetch Shock Thoughtseize, then play Shadow. Obviously all dependent on what my opponent's doing, but it's got a little bit of everything. It's got this, you know, Thoughtseize can be good. So yeah, we'll give this a go. On the play, this would be a lot better. We're really hoping to not draw any more lands as well. Opponent's mulligan to 5, which I mean, before I would have said that that indicates something like Dredge or Tron. But we instantly find another land, which isn't great. Alright, so I'm definitely doing something here. I think we're just playing Ragavan. Although, maybe we meant to just Thoughtseize. No, I think I'm fine playing Ragavan here. Okay, so opponent's missed a land drop. Oh, another land, really? A Delta, so we'll go Thoughtseize you. Okay, opponent has the Spell Pierce. Wonder if I meant to attack here. Opponent trades. Okay, we can't actually play the Shadow anymore. Don't think I am meant to attack. Just pass the turn. Opponent's frantically digging for lands by the look of it. Okay, so we would like a non-land spell. 1, 2. So we're gonna have 3. We could have 4 cards in the graveyard. Play a 4/4. 4 cards in the graveyard. I think that's probably fine. Do I attack with my Ragavan? I mean, I need to kill these at some point, I guess. I think I am going to attack now. Well, no, I don't think I am actually. Although if these ever become 3/3s, we're in trouble. So if I attack, he blocks. I play I could then play Murktide and Shadow. But I don't really want to play Shadow until it can't be bolted. We go down to 13, we go down to 10. I think I'm okay trading here. Need to kill these at some point. Okay, and then we can go Delta. So I have to fetch Shock twice here. Steam Vents. One, two, three. And then, do I want to play this Shadow? I don't think so. I think it's worth just waiting one more turn. Okay, opponent finds a land. Opponent can't quite Murktide. But opponent might have Counterspell. Well, we find another Murktide Regent. I think we're attacking here. So I'll play a Shadow. Oh, shouldn't have done... Yeah, it doesn't matter actually, I can play a land afterwards. This might get just counterspelled. Not for red blue, wouldn't have thought. Yeah, so that my opponent means to tap blue blue. That's 2 cards in graveyard. We can put 3 cards in graveyard. So we can have 6 mana. Not quite enough. So let's go Mire pass. Opponent hasn't quite got Delirium. Okay, iteration obviously pretty good. Wouldn't mind drawing. Opponent is at 8, so they can't Murktide us this turn. They do get Delirium. Unholy Heat. They've got Unholy Heat as well. Yeah, that's pretty good. Guess that's the trouble with playing a 4/4 Murktide. I guess I don't fetch because it's an extra turn on the clock for my opponent. Thoughtseize. So we can go Thoughtseize, play Thoughtseize. We put 4 in the graveyard. Yeah, so we have to Thoughtseize. Just gonna get basic swamp. Thoughtseize, you take your Murktide probably. Yeah, Expressive Iteration is good as well, but I think we have to take Murktide Regent, play our own Murktide. So yeah, opponent's got a decent, you know, they've got another iteration in hand. So they probably use. Hopefully they don't find Unholy Heat. I think this is likely to be one of the best decks at the moment. Murktide didn't lose anything from the Ragavan ban. Yeah. Okay, so they've put some stuff in their graveyard. They put Ragavan into the graveyard. So we don't want to see Heat. Don't know what else. Lightning Bolt is also scary. That would put us to 1 island. Oh, so they're probably just going to finish off our Murktide Regent. Have to block, obviously. Okay, bolt the Murktide. So we're going to have to find something good. Okay, opponents put one on top, which is worrying. So finding Ragavan is really good. Finding Kolaghan's command would be good. Stubborn Denial. Yeah, really? Okay, so I think Stubborn Denial is probably for the chop. Okay, opponent probably put the Consider on top. Okay, so I mean, Stubborn Denial might be good here if we can counter like an Archmage's Charm. More lands. We seem to have flooded out a bit today. So being able to stub an Archmage's Charm here would be really nice. Another Consider. So this probably implies they do have Archmage's Charm. Okay, drawing with Fiery Islet is fine. Flooded Strand. Oh, this is Murktide, isn't it? Which we can't actually kill at the moment. Is there anything that beats Murktide here? Certainly not that. Okay, so we drew very poorly at the end there. I guess we kept 4 lands, but then I think our first 2 draw steps were lands, and 2 of our last 3 draw steps were lands. That was always, yeah, Shadow always had 2 problems. It was flooding out and not finding threats. The extra threats have helped in that regard, but still need to be able to yeah, still need to not find too many lands. Okay, Liliana is good. Don't think Stubbs, well, no, I don't think Stubbs going to be that good. Street Wraith can probably come out. They run a lot of lightning bolts. Do we want the Kolaghan's commands, the fatal pushes, the counterspell? What do we take out for it? We want the heats, we need the terminates. Maybe we just cut 2 more wraiths. I could see bringing in a counterspell and maybe a push. Yeah, let's go with that. Push is obviously good against opposing Ragavans and Dragon's Rage channelers. Okay, I think we can keep this. You know, it's got a kill spell for our opponent's turn 1 creature. It's got an iteration in to kind of reload our stuff. Given Unholy Heat kills most stuff anyway, I think. Are we going to use? Yeah, I think we're going to use the push here. So we'll go and get Watery Grave. The only thing Unholy Heat doesn't kill is obviously a top decked, sorry, not top decked, a 3/3 Dragon's Rage Channeler. That's only if it's not delirious. Question is, am I meant to Murktide? Am I meant to Iteration here? Depends what my opponent does, I suppose. I think so. We find Dragon's Rage Channeler actually, so I think we're just going to cast that. Let's shock this in. Maybe we shouldn't be shocking so much, but don't really want to get dash. Don't really want my opponent to dash a Ragavan. Ooh, Liliana of the Veil. Well, I don't think that's probably not resolving, so I think we want to hold up. Well, we could hit Thoughtseize. Yeah, so we're going to want to hold up that. So it's probably getting counterspelled. Yeah, we'll put that on top. Okay, sure. I've got an answer to dashed Ragavan, so that's fine. And if we need to, we can actually we know what's on top of our library, so if my opponent goes Murktide and it's less than if it's a 6/6 or less, we can actually with confidence Unholy Heat it, put the Mishra's Bauble into the graveyard. So I think, well, it depends what my opponent does here. So final land, I think we're going to go, we're just going to yeah, we're going to cast Nihil Spellbomb and then probably draw a card actually. Makes our Dragon's Rage Channeler bigger. Yeah, makes Dragon's Rage Channeler bigger. Okay, they heat that, which is fine. Do you want to draw another land? No, I think we can graveyard that. I'm going to do this to my opponent now. So we find a land. Oh, that actually means we could... how much do we think my opponent is going to be... I think we're slamming Murktide here. They are not going to have Delirium. So, yeah, so we'll just go and grab, I think, another Steam Vents. Slam our own Murktide. So we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leave the card types that are hard to get. The only, yeah, the worry there was that my opponent had Mystical Dispute, but as it happens, they did not. Okay, so we're going to get to swing with Murktide Regent. Well, Iteration is quite good. I think we swing first. Yeah, Iteration is the card that you just want to always top deck. Okay, they draw a card. They could have Brazen Borrower in the deck. So we'll go for this. This and this. Want to have... ooh. Surprised that resolves. So we'll go... I guess we've got an answer to Murktide anyway. So let's go hand, bottom, exile, and we can play another one. Yeah, iteration into iteration. Okay, at least we hit the Bauble. So we'll put Counterspell in hand, bottom the Ragavan, exile the Bauble, play the Bauble. Yeah, a bit sad we don't hit a land there, but can't be helped. I mean, we looked at yeah, we don't want to do that actually. We saw so many cards there. So yeah, we'll see what my opponent's drawing next. Oh, iteration. That's a pretty good one. Okay, so we draw a land. So yeah, that well-timed Spellbomb was nice. We can actually go Liliana, hold up Counterspell. Dragon's Rage Channeler, that's fine. We will have Delirium next turn. Might be that we just Liliana though. Can't be Spell Pierced. So, yeah, I think we'll just go for Liliana. I guess we can fetch a basic first. Don't really want to get... Oh, our basic's gone. Let's go Liliana. Is this stupid? I think it is. I think we're just going to go this. I think it's stupid to go Liliana here. I'd rather save an out for a... This way we can hold up Counterspell, and we can hold up Unholy Heat, and we can hold up, and we can play a Death Shadow, which is lethal next turn. And then if my opponent, so I guess one of the things that my opponent can play to stop themselves dying to this. Suppose we should be a bit more wary of Blood Moon as well. Should probably prioritise fetching basic Swamp next turn, next game, if we get there. Where opponent could have, they'd have to have 4 bolts and a red land. I think we can let that resolve, and then we can counter what they find from it. Potentially. Murktide Regent enters the exiled zone. Okay. Is it going to be big enough? So we can still Unholy Heat it. But I think we'll go for the Counterspell. Yeah, we'll Counterspell that. Because that way we have lethal next turn. Okay, so opponent deciding... Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Opponent lives on 1 life this way. Well, we find a land as well, which isn't ideal. We can play Liliana though. Put our opponent to 1. Liliana of the Veil. Plus get rid of a land. Guess we'll play a land, pass the turn. So this is a little bit worrying now. If our opponent, maybe we should have left the Liliana, but it's playing around Unholy Heat or playing around Counterspell, I suppose. So the Unholy Heat is going to be, Murktide's going to be big enough to dodge our Unholy Heat. I'm assuming our opponent has a plan for this Liliana. There's a Murktide. They could have another creature. We do have an answer to a creature. Two cards in hand for my opponent. They could have Bolt, I suppose. Bolt the Liliana is quite good. Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern also fairly good. I guess my opponent can try and stop me having Delirium. I think I still have it, yeah. Oh, that grows my Murktide, which is nice. Wonder what my opponent's last card is. They could draw a card with Soul Guide, but then, yeah, because they can't really exile my graveyard because it makes my Murktide enormous. They do find the Bolt, which is annoying. Yeah, I think we'll fetch my last land out. Well, the Shadow is quite good, so we'll go Shadow. I guess we attack here. Attack here. My opponent blocks. Yeah, I think we can attack. Opponent blocks. We Unholy Heat. And then we tick up. Get the last card out of my opponent's hand. Which was okay. So I mean we're ahead. This Shadow is now out of Unholy Heat range. We've got a Liliana for another top deck Murktide. So 2 blue mana indicates that paying costs indicate another Murktide, but yeah, we can just edict here. And Death Shadow gets across the line. So yeah, Shadow gets there in game 2. Liliana Veil not looking too bad in there. I think we've brought it in. What did we play first? We beat Jund. We lost to, can't remember what we lost to, but I think we brought it in most games. Right, I don't think we want Stub. I think everything here is just fine. Yeah, that Nihil Spellbomb was pretty good. Maybe we want more of those in the board. Maybe Street Wraith is superfluous, don't know. It always used to be the case that you really want to Street Wraith in the like unfair matchups where you were kind of racing to just put a massive shadow down, but it kind of comboed with Team of Battle Rage. Maybe we want some Team of Battle Rages in the side. Yeah, this hand's great. I mean, great is probably an overstatement, but it's got discard. It's got an iteration to try and sort of gas up our hand. It does have a threat. Maybe with Murktide Regent we should be playing Thought Scour, although I do hate Thought Scour. It always felt so miserable to you top deck Thought Scour late game, Thought Scour yourself, see Death Shadow go into the bin, and then you draw Bloodstained Mire. Opponent's mulligan to 5. So we're going to lead off on this Thoughtseize. Unless my opponent plays a turn 1 Ragavan. Yeah, so we'll play the Blood Crypt, and we can Thoughtseize to see if my opponent is playing Blood Moon. We might just get Spell Pierced here. They are running Blood Moon, so I think I'm going to take the Blood Moon here. You know, it's just not worth just dying to that. So opponent hasn't got too much in hand. There's the island. Okay, so, well, Shadow, we can not quite cast that. So we just have to play a land and pass. Can't really afford to go and get basic swamp here. Okay, opponent goes Iteration. I suppose we have to be careful with how big we put our Shadow in. Opponent finds Consider, so they're going to Consider. I guess we don't well, yeah, drawing a land is fine here. I think we got to go down on life as well. Oh, we naturally draw the Thoughtseize. Okay, so that's good. So we'll go and get blue black. Cast our own Iteration. Looking for land. That's really crap. So what are we doing? Are we taking a Dragon's Rage Channeler to hand, or am I just going double Bauble? I suppose, yeah, we'll hand the Channeler, exile this, play this. Oh, opponent's finding Murktide Regent. Have we got Delirium? Not quite. Okay, opponent doesn't play the Murktide Regent. Okay, so we're going to go Iteration. Well, do we go Iteration again? We've got so many cards in hand. Do we just go? I think we're going to, because we can Thoughtseize anyway. Opponent's going to counter this because I think we're missing lands, which we were, but not anymore. So we're going to go and get another Watery Grave to allow us to play this Murktide Regent. Thoughtseize. Oh, we have to go to 8, which is worrying when we know my opponent's got at least 1 bolt in hand. Bolt, Counterspell. Okay, so we're just going to take the Murktide Regent. Thing we can't. Well, we can kill it, but it's difficult. Don't really want to lose too much more life. Just need time really to. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can make our Murktide big enough to. Oh, our opponent has Counterspell. So I think we're just going to go Channeler. I suppose we could just deploy all of our threats here. But then one Shadow is currently a 6/6. Don't really want to go to 5. Play a land. Tell you what, we can just go Shadow. Probably should have fetched a basic swamp here. I think that's fine. I think we can just leave it there. If our opponent tries to Unholy Heat, we probably fetch Shock. Okay, good to get a bolt out because I was a bit afraid of my life total. I guess we can't really fetch at the moment. Okay, Iteration's a nice draw. Our opponent used the counter. Did they use the counter spell? Oh, they used one on our Iteration, but I think they've got another one. Let's go Iteration. Yes, there's a counter spell. That's fine. So yeah, we're just going to bash in with the shadow. Stop. So yeah, there's no real point in fetching here to play something because as soon as we crack this fetch land, my opponent will okay, we play another one. So I think we do go to 5 here. Opponent could Unholy Heat. Yeah, they haven't got Bolt anymore. They use their counterspell as well. So we could just go fetch a basic and then fetch a tap land, play Murktide. I think that's probably we go to 6 that way, so we're dead to double Bolt. I think I saw Snapcaster from our opponent, but I kind of want to kill my opponent in 2 swings. So if we're going to get Steam Vents, yeah, I think we're going to shock here. I mean, I could fetch shock again. To put my opponent to 3. I don't think we want to go for it though, because if yeah, we just don't want to put myself dead to a single lightning bolt. Ooh. Play Murktide. So we want to make sure we keep Delirium. So Iteration, Thoughtseize, Iteration, Thoughtseize. We don't actually need to make it that big. So yeah, 7/7 is enough. Okay, opponent has Counterspell, which is fair enough. Maybe I was just meant to go for that. There's Dragon's Rage Channeler. Yeah, our opponent's got Unholy Heat. So we're going to Unholy Heat here. Is the Shadow Boy going to get there? Well, they can't double bolt us. Attack with our 8/8. Snapcaster Mage doesn't save them. Brazen Borrower saves them, or anything akin to that. It's going to blockers, and we get there. Okay, well, a win for win for the Shadow. Yeah, I think we navigated that fine. We were able to take care of our opponent's Murktide Regents. I think if my opponent had slammed the Murktide Regent at any point, we would have been in trouble. I think, was the opponent potentially short on lands? Oh, and they did mulligan to 5, to be fair. But yeah, good to get the win. See you for the next round. Okay, on the draw for round number 4. We're going to keep this. It's a bit sketchy, but if Thoughtseize is good, we've got we've got the potential to double Shadow on turn 2 as well. Blood Crypt tap from the opponent. Okay, another Shadow. Not really what we want to see, but if we find a land off the top, we're in pretty good shape, I'd say. So let's go ahead and Thoughtseize. Okay, so it's goblins. Given that we got 2 more Thoughtseizes, I think we're just going to take the Snoop. That way my opponent can't play anything next turn. could have done with the land there, but we'll continue Thoughtseizing our opponent. Okay. I'll take the Goblin Matron here. Well, that puts it into their hand. This puts it on top of their library. I guess we take the one that puts it on top of their library, because then my opponent plays Goblin Matron and then we can Thoughtseize whatever they put into their hand. Boggart Harbinger is also part of the combo with Conspicuous Snoop. So we'd really like to find a land here. Okay, so here's the Matron, although we're probably Thoughtseizing whatever this goes and gets. It's okay, yeah, we Thoughtseize the Goblin Ringleader, whatever here. Okay, we do find a land, which is, ooh, now do we want to, no, I'm going to play Death Shadow. Triple Thoughtseize. Sling Gang Lieutenant is good. But we're going to take the Ringleader. Let's go grab Watery Grave here. This might be quite aggressive, but I think it's okay. Opponent's going to go Sling Gang. They do get to make 2 goblins. They are going to get to drain us for some if they, when they block. Can they sacrifice? Okay, so they can. Okay, so we're going to Unholy Heat this. Okay, find another land. I think we're just going to go Heat this first. Probably play 2 shadows. Okay, so we'll play a land and then we'll attack with Shadow. How interested are we in Fetch Shocking? So that would put my opponent, this is putting them to 14, is putting them to 11 any better? This becomes a 9/9. And we're going to have to fetch anyway, but do we just go and get a basic swamp? I think I'm happier just getting basic swamp here. I mean, yeah, this is kind of, obviously we've had a very good hand here. Secluded Courtyard. Okay, Ether Vial. So we know they've got Cavern of Souls in hand. It's going to slam in with 3 shadows. I suppose we could have shocked in, but any 2 of these are lethal anyway. Okay, opponent, I guess they're probably afraid of Dress Down. Play this Dragon's Rage Channeler. It's a blocker at any rate. We will play the land in case we find, yeah, just in case we find like Expressive Iteration, something where we want to use a lot of mana. Okay, so our hand was pretty bonkers there. You know, triple Thoughtseize into triple Shadow. Pretty good against whatever deck you come up against. So we're going to want the Fatal Pushes, probably the Terminates. I think we're going to want the Dress Downs. Summon Denial is garbage here. The only thing it counters is Ether Vial, and they usually do that on turn 1 anyway. We want all the removal. We can cut some Street Wraiths. Do we want Kolaghan's Command instead of these next 2 Street Wraiths? We don't want Counterspell because they run Cavern of Souls. They don't really use the graveyard. Liliana, given that they make loads of tokens, isn't great. I think we're going to cut some Street Wraiths for some Kolaghan's commands. Go with that. Okay, no lander here, so easy mulligan. Yeah, this is fine. I suppose we could have sided out some Ragavans. I'm going to bottom... We're probably getting Steam Vents on one of these anyway, since we don't have a shadow. If we draw a shadow... I think we just go Steam Vents and then get Watery Grave. So let's put we'll put Scalding Tarn on the bottom. So we're going to lead off with Ragavan here. Another Thoughtseize kind of makes me want to Thoughtseize. So we could go Thoughtseize. I think we're overthinking it. I think we just play the Ragavan. Happy to trade that with a Snoop. And then next turn we go Dragon's Rage Channeler. So Sacred Foundry, I suppose my opponent could be running Prismatic Ending. We're going to well, I suppose we need to Thoughtseize. We're probably going to go and fetch basic Swamp actually. Oh, Unsettled Mariner. I guess that is a goblin technically. Whenever you or a permanent you control. Okay, well we'll attack with this Ragavan. We're happy if my opponent trades, we're happy if they don't really. Okay, Cavern of Souls, so we'll do this. What does it counter unless... Counter that spell ability unless they pay. So we can't Mishra's Bauble. Oh, this was stupid. We're going to put that in the graveyard. I should have fetched first. Missed out on a Surveil there. We're going to get basic Swamp just to play around Blood Moon. Murktide Regent. I mean, that is a big threat, but we're not casting it for a while. Although, yeah, I think we'll put that into the graveyard. Then we'll just go Thoughtseize. Does it count unless I pay 1? Yeah, so we'll yep. Steam Vents. I think we can graveyard that, especially since we're going to be drawing some with Bauble. Okay, so they do have the combo. I think we just take the Snoop here. Or do we let my opponent play the Snoop? So if we take the Snoop, my opponent will just play Matron next turn, but then we can Thoughtseize whatever they get. I think that's fine. We have to Bauble ourselves. Okay, Unholy Heat's a nice draw. Guess we might as well Bauble ourselves again. I guess my opponent might be running Thoughtseize, so we probably should have waited there. Unholy Heat, well, Death Shadow as well. So probably gonna, well, maybe I should have kept the land because we're gonna need to pay for Unsettled Mariner. If we find a land, we can go. I suppose we've got the Ragavan as well. So here's the Matron. Although opponent will be happy to trade the Matron for the Ragavan, I suppose. Yeah, I should have kept the land on top. Okay, he goes and it's another Goblin Matron, which is fine. So if we attack, my opponent goes block here. I feel like we're just Thoughtseizing. So maybe we're meant to just Unholy Heat the Unsettled Mariner, actually. Yeah, I think we're just gonna we'll just heat the Mariner, because then next turn hopefully we can do more stuff, because this is just costing us too much mana with us missing our land drop as well. I will probably trade. Well, that's interesting. Given my opponent's probably going to play some creatures, I'm just going to trade off here. It's going to be hard to get this Ragavan through. Okay, so they have another one. That makes sense, I suppose. Sure. So we'll Unholy Heat this Unsettled Mariner. That way we get to Surveil as well. Graveyard that one. Pay the 1. So we know all the cards in my opponent's hand. Well, we're finding lots of Thoughtseizes. We'll put that on top. So I guess we take the Matron. So if my opponent goes Harbinger, Find, Snoop. Next turn we can Thoughtseize, take Kiki Jiki. So it's one of these. I think it's just the Matron. Attack him for 3. And then next turn, so we're going to draw the Bloodstained Mire. So next turn we can go, we probably go Thoughtseize. Reveal it and put that card on top. So they're probably going to go and they might go and get the Snoop. Set up the well, they can't really set up the combo anymore. I guess they well, actually, again, okay, so I've played this wrong. I should have followed my advice, my strategy from the first game where we take Matron. Although we do want to Thoughtseize just Kiki Jiki, so yeah, no, so actually, yeah, that's probably fine. I suppose we could draw another Thoughtseize, although we know we're not drawing another Thoughtseize. Sorry, ignore me, just rambling on. Okay, opponent does go and get Ringleader, which is scary. Okay, we find Bloodstained Mire, so yeah, we have to attack. I guess we just set up. Actually, we're probably just playing Shadow and Murktide here, because Thoughtseize and Kiki Jiki, we know that our opponent doesn't have a land on top, so we'll go Fetch, Shock, just play out a massive. Well, Murktide's probably going to be an 8/8, so let's go Murktide. Get rid of. So we do. This has got flying, so Thoughtseize, Thoughtseize. We have a Thoughtseize in our hand, so we can put that in there again. Unholy Heat. We haven't quite got enough instants and sorceries really, so I guess we could go Thoughtseize. No, we want to play 2 creatures. We can put a Thoughtseize in there later. So we've got creature, land, artifact. So yeah, we'll make a big Murktide. And we'll play a shadow, and then next turn we can go Thoughtseize, which will give us Delirium. And then attack for 9. This does have haste, but I think that's fine. We know they're drawing that, so I think I can't. I suppose Mog Fanatic can kill. Well, yeah, that is true. Mog Fanatic can kill this. So yeah, so it's not actually okay. Our opponent hits no. Our running Chalice of the Void. Opponent hits no goblins with Ringleader, which is obviously brutal for them. I'm assuming the opponent will see the line Mog Fanatic ping Dragon's Rage Channeler. If they do we... Okay, yes, I just do it now. That's fair enough. We do know our opponent's got Kiki Jiki, so we do need to Thoughtseize this turn. Ragavan is a good one actually, so we'll dash that because my opponent has to block it. And then how much do we care about Kiki Jiki, I guess? Let's dash. We can attack with everything here. Murktide definitely gets through. So my opponent has to block both of these creatures, which I think we're fine with. Ooh, I guess my opponent... Is this other... Okay, so we hit my opponent. Yeah, this hasn't gone as well as I thought. So if my opponent top decks a land, plays Kiki Jiki... I actually don't think I meant to Thoughtseize here. I think we were meant to just pass. If our opponent finds... I mean, if they find Snoop into and they've got a thing on top, I think that's a bit dead anyway. How much do we... If they go Kiki Jiki... Oh, Kiki Jiki doesn't quite kill us. Because my opponent can go... If they play Kiki Jiki... Oh, they have to tap to make a creature. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll just say go. Yeah, we probably shouldn't have attacked with Shadow there. Yeah, that whole Dragon's Rage Channeler thing with Mog Fanatic I kind of missed. And definitely a good lesson there. I really must try and get better at this, and I think it's a lesson that I need to go with myself. Oh, I guess our opponent could top deck exactly Goblin Grenade. Surely not. Are they still running that card? But yeah, so on that one, it's just a good idea to surveil the board, I guess. Please don't be Goblin Grenade. Do they have any flyers? No, this is 4 mana for something. Sling Gang Lieutenant. Oh, that's close. Okay, so sacrifice a goblin. Oh, you gain 1 life. Okay, so we've got just enough though. Because my opponent can gain 4 life. Do we attack with Shadow? Does it really matter? No, Shadow's not actually going to do anything here because they just block and then sacrifice the blocker. Opponent's going to be put to exactly... We're going to be put to 1. My opponent's going to be put to exactly 0. Okay, GG's. So that was a scary. That was scary. Thank goodness we didn't Thoughtseize. Really should have thought about that. But yeah, like I was saying, just it's a good idea to surveil the board, see what your opponent has got. You know, I often fall into that trap of just missing just like a land that can do something, or yeah, in this case a creature that can sacrifice themselves and has an activated ability, especially against decks that you don't play as often. But yeah, we're 3-2, 3-1. Sorry. Let's move on and go for the 4-1. Right, round number 4. We're against turn 1 Vial, so don't know if that's going to be a indication of what my opponent's got. We've got a 4-lander. I think we're going to go with it though. In the blind, you know, we've got a turn 1 Ragavan, and then we can hold up Stub if we need it. We can, you know, we've got Iteration to kind of find us some gas later. Opponent's mulligan to 5. See if they do have the fabled turn 1 Ether Vial. Seachrome Coast, Ether Vial? No. So Seachrome Coast does make me think Spirits. I don't know if I'm being too heavily influenced by my opponent's name, but another land's pretty grim. I guess we'll go and grab. Is it Blood Crypt? I think it's probably Steam Vents, given that we've got this. Got this Stub in case my opponent decides to do anything in our upkeep. Portable Hole. Well, yeah, that's pretty annoying. Ooh, there's a Saga. Okay, so this is like Affinity probably. Well, we'll cycle that. Oh, Dragon's Rage Channeler is quite good. So we'll play Delta, play Channeler. See if our opponent gives us a Stub target here. Although they're probably just going to activate their Urza's Saga. Obviously we'd like them to go 3. If they ideally they'd go tap out, tap 3 for a Nettle Cyst or something that we can Stub. They are doing something. Come on. Stoneforge Mystic's rough. Oh, okay, so they're just making a token now. Not sure why. So against this, I think we can just go and get a tap land here. Go and grab Watery Grave. And we'll go Iteration. Another Channeler, but I think we want to go Iteration first. Thoughtseize. I think Thoughtseize is probably alright actually. So we'll take hand, bottom, exile. Do we want to attack here? Play a land. We could attack. I think I'd rather have this Dragon's Rage Channeler. Do we want to? Well, I mean, my opponent's going to have a lot of stuff. I think we want it on defensive duty. So we'll go through our combat phase before we fire off this Thoughtseize. Just in case we surveil something that we don't want into the graveyard. Graveyard that. Oh, why couldn't they have gone a Nettle Cyst last turn? Okay, so opponent probably going to make. I guess we take Nettle Cyst. Oh yeah, it has to be Nettle Cyst because Nettle Cyst with Shadow Spear and stuff is just brutal. So opponent probably going to make another token. I think we're probably just blocking. Opponent's probably going to go and get Yeah, Springleaf Drum. Here comes Esper Sentinel. So yeah, I'm just going to block here. Oh, another stub, eh? Right, I think we're probably dead. Yeah, my opponent's got Shadow Spear. We can just concede here. So yeah, not sure exactly what my opponent's doing. Nettlesis, so this, yeah, it's some sort of affinity artifact build, but there's quite a few different ones going around. It's likely, yeah, I'm pretty confident it's not Hammer Time, but it could be. It could just be like a reality chip kind of thing. I think we are going to want to keep the stubs in. Definitely want the Kolaghan's commands. Definitely want some dress downs. Tourach is potentially interesting. I think we can trim on things like Inquisition. My opponent tends to empty their hand fairly quickly, so I don't know if we want like the Thoughtseizes. Oh, Ragavan can come out. I think my opponent's probably playing things like Ornithopter and Memnite. I think we do want Fatal Push. It's difficult because I think my opponent's probably on the kind of 8 cast plan where they're just, you know, casting Thought Cast and Thought Monitors. What else? Spellbomb, we don't need that. Do we need the Street Wraiths and the stubs? So we saw Portable Hole, we saw Nettle Cyst. Do we need this many stubs? I don't think we want all of them. I think we do want the Fatal Pushes. Do we want Terminate? I think we'll bring in some Terminates. Liliana is not great against their tokens and stuff. I think we'll just go with that. Right, so we'll be on the play. Yeah, this is okay. You know, it's got removal. It's got a turn 1 Thoughtseize. So we'll bauble my opponent to get full info here. They're drawing Stone. If they're drawing Stoneforge Mystic, how much do I want to wait to Thoughtseize? I don't think I do. I think I want to use my mana. It is an Urza deck. Oh, Sanctifier and oh, my opponent's got a lot of stuff here. We're not too worried about Esper Sentinel. I think I'm going to take Sanctifier just because we really struggle to kill it. Yeah, I'm going to take the Sanctifier. So it's, I don't know if it's going to be an Urza. I think it's probably just using Urza as a value here. Rather than the combo with Thopter, Foundry and Sword of the Meek. Okay, we find Delta, which isn't great. I'm going to do this now. How much do I want to just get basic Swamp? We could do with more red mana really. I'll go and get Steam Vents. Maybe I should have mulliganed this hand. It's definitely possible. Okay, there's a Saga. Opponent playing the Stoneforge Mystic. Searching up. Could be Caldra. If they play Caldra. Could be Reality Chip. No, it is Caldra, so we're going to kill the Stoneforge. Murktide's actually a really good draw. I think we can play that. So yeah, we'll shock in, kill the Stoneforge, make a 6/6 Murktide. Pass the turn. Can't portable hole this. 3 mana. That's such a good draw for our opponent. That's a good draw for us. So we'll go Thoughtseize. Probably take the Urza. So yeah, we'll take Urza here. And then, are we going to heat the Teferi? Opponent's going to have a token, but we're unlikely to be able to. We're not running too many counter spells, I suppose. Are we just going to want to heat something else? Definitely possible. Opponent doesn't have another land. We're definitely playing this tapped. How much is this going to be a problem? I think we can wait. Opponent makes a token. Yeah, I think we have to wait. I don't think we need to kill the Teferi. We've got until next turn anyway. Yeah, that was really brutal. My opponent drawing Teferi Time Reveler there. So opponent sacrificed a land here. Going to get Relic of Progenitus, which, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, opponent instantly finds the land. Okay, so we know that they've got Portable Hole, Caldra, so we know the cards in their hand. Ooh, now that's a good one. I think we're just killing all of my opponent's creatures. So we'll go, we could kill the Relic, but I think we just go kill, kill. Although we could take this opportunity to kill Teferi, kill target artifact, deal 2 damage, and then next turn we can heat this. But I don't think we need to kill the Teferi. I think I just want to keep my opponent's board clear. So we target artifact, deal 2 damage, so we'll destroy this artifact, deal 2 damage here. And we can pay the 1 for the Sentinel. So we know my opponent's hand pretty much. I guess maybe we should have killed Teferi before my opponent can, you know, bounce something. What does the opponent find? They find a Nettle Cyst, which is actually pretty good. So they play the Smith. So we know their hand. Well, Thoughtseize is pretty good as well. So we'll go Thoughtseize my opponent. So we're just going to take the Nettle Cyst as the only thing my opponent can play. And then, yeah, we'll just go Unholy Heat this. So, yeah, I mean, my opponent does have the Portable Hole, which can deal with our first threat. I guess we would like to find we sideboarded out Ragavan. Okay, opponent's found Bauble, so nothing too outrageous just yet. I guess trouble is my opponent can draw a card next turn. Maybe we should have killed this Teferi, but then we start taking damage. We are already at 7, so yeah. Okay, opponent bounces the Relic. Oh, and they find Urza. Ugh. Okay, so we know the 2 cards in my opponent's hand. So we need Terminate. Would be good. Instead we find Mishra's Bauble. So we'll look at what my opponent's drawing. They're drawing Thought Monitor, which is obviously really good draw for them. So show me Terminate. Do I think I'm just going to cycle. I think we're so far behind that I need to find something good here. Okay, Fatal Push. So we can push the token. Maybe I'm meant to push the token. Portable Hole. Exile target non-land permanent opponent controls. Sure. Oh, I guess my opponent can now... Yeah, this was a mistake. I should have pushed this. Although it doesn't actually matter. I should have pushed this pre... Oh, okay. I guess we'll do this now. Oh, I guess they're just trying to boost up the construct to be big enough. Okay, so this has been pretty rough. I probably should have mulliganed here. Okay, so we have to push this. So we go to 4. Opponent's probably gonna pop the relic. I mean, they should. Yeah, stop us casting Murktide. So I guess Terminate keeps us in it for a turn. Summon Denial. Okay, well, we'll keep going because we can go to 3 here. I don't know what we can draw. Sentinel, sure. Sort of, yeah. Okay, GG's. So that was rough. Yeah, I think I should have probably... Yeah, we just never found a threat. I guess... Yeah, I probably should... Maybe I should have mulliganed, but I thought the hand was quite good. You know, he had lots of removal and stuff, but just wasn't good enough. But we get the 3-2. The deck was really fun to play. I think there's definitely something there, but I think it needs work. I think first cut we make is all 4 Summon Denials. They were pretty horrendous today. I wouldn't be averse to playing a couple of them in the side, but yeah, I think they can go. The Street Wraiths were, I think they're okay. The trouble is, I found often I was very, it was quite unusual that I was able to make Murktide Regent an 8/8. Just because we weren't putting enough instants and sorceries in the graveyard. You know, Street Wraith doesn't put a counter on Murktide. I suppose you only need 1 or 2 to make this as big as Gurmag Angler, but at the same time, then Gurmag Angler might only cost you 1 mana. So I think there's tinkering around to be done. Not sure what I'd take. I think I'd, instead of Sturb, I would want to run some number of... I think definitely Drown in the Lock would have been really good in certain places in that league. So yeah, all in all, I think I'm pretty happy. But yeah, definitely some tinkering to be made. Please let me know if you have any suggestions. But for now, see you next time.